Y'all, today is the day, and I am so thrilled for you. You are starting your astrological journey today. If you've never looked at your birth chart, this is the video for you. Or if you've looked at it before and you're kind of uncertain about some things, just come on in. We're popping that cherry today. I promise I'll be gentle. So I'll be sharing on the screen today how to access your birth chart and break down some of the key elements that live in the chart to help orient you so that other astrological knowledge that you pick up from this channel and others will make more sense to you. So stick around. Hey homies, my name is Ebony, aka Ebby Mercury. Welcome to the Homegirl Astrology YouTube channel where we support Black folks in finding ease by learning how to use their astrology charts as a self-awareness tool to enable transformation in love, career, finances, and more. Please remember to like and share this video, drop a comment, and subscribe to the channel so you know when new content is posted. Okay, first things first, before we create a chart, let's just briefly talk about what an astrology chart is. It's a graphical representation of where the planets and other celestial stuff, so stars, asteroids, etc., were in the sky at the exact moment of your birth based on where you were born. That's it. It's just a snapshot of the sky. So there's always stuff happening in the sky, but we want to look at what was happening when you were born because that's going to tell us a lot about you, the things you love and hate, the barriers that you'll face, the work that you'll do, the family experience that you'll have, the types of people you'll love, and more. To create a basic chart, all you really need is your birth date. To get a chart that provides more clarity around your life experiences and what they'll look like, who you'll be, then you'll need your birth time and location of birth as well to get the extra detail. But let's go online and create a chart. It's going to be very straightforward. I just want to share that the square chart that y'all see on CoStar a lot of times isn't a bad entry point, but the wheel charts are going to be better when you're more advanced because you'll be able to better visualize the angular relationships that planets are having with each other, and those are called aspects. So we'll get into that soon. So we're going to head over to an online chart calculator that I tend to use if I don't have access to my apps. But it's a great tool for the raw beginner. So we're at astro.com. We're going to click on charts and calculations. From here, we'll just click on the first one, chart drawings, ascendant. And if you're a new person to the site, well, read the privacy agreements and all of that. And then we'll start to enter birth data. You can create a profile or log in if you have a profile. And then if you don't, just click here. Okay, so there's more privacy stuff. Thank you. All right, I'll accept that, but you don't have to. Feel free to read and decide from there. So what we're going to do is we're going to start entering birth information. So name, if you don't want to use your real name, you don't have to. Gender, if you don't want to share that, you don't have to either. Birth date. So we're just going to put in a date of birth. So with March 13th, 1986 for this person, but you enter your actual date. And then if you don't know your date of birth, if you don't know your time of birth, you can just leave that blank. I highly recommend that you try to find it because you get a lot more information out of it. But for here, we're just going to, you can leave it. You can put it as unknown if you don't know. But we're going to just give this person a time of birth. We're going to say Molly's born at 3:13 p.m. She's born in the USA in Los Angeles, California. Great. And we'll just hit continue. You can already see up at the top, it's starting to give her sun, moon, and rising. All right, so now we've got a horoscope for Molly Carter. Now we have a chart. Just take a moment, breathe it in, be in awe of this like as above, so below moment, seeing your birth chart from that momentous day, that momentous time, seeing that here modeled on the screen for you. I think it's amazing. Anyway, let's do a tour of what we have available here. So I know this looks like a lot. It's probably looking like a lot of flim flam and gobbledygook, and just don't mind me when I do my old man chat. Stay focused. So let's start with the planets. In this video, I'm not going to tell you what they mean, but I'll just show them to you so you have an idea of what sort of legend is available for you here on astro.com. And so you can start kind of internalizing what these different things look like. So here we have the sun. It looks like a circle with a dot inside of it. And it's also shown here on the legend. We have the moon, which looks like, a crescent moon. Mercury, which is this little fella down here, or I say fella, but he's really androgynous. So more of a they. They are here with this little kind of antenna sort of thing happening. Again, you can see it here. Venus, let's look here. Mars is up here and shown here again. I'll just go over here. Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. And sometimes the Pluto glyph or symbol can look a little different than this, but it'll be labeled on really whatever tool you're using. But it looks like a circle and its arms are kind of up like this. It looks similar to the Venus symbol, but except there's like raised arms almost. All right, and then we also have the true node or the north node showing here. It looks like a horseshoe. And then Chiron is here as well. Kind of looks like a little skeleton key almost. We'll talk about those someday. I think I've talked about them a little bit on the channel before, but that's not the focus for today. I will note, if you don't have a birth time, your moon sign could be off. There are some other planets that could be off as well. So if a planet is at 29 degrees or 0 degrees of a sign on that day, it could be possible that the planet has already shifted to a new sign or was in a different sign when the day began. So that's just something to be mindful of. I will also note that the ascendant, which is right here where it says AC, and it's showing again here in the legend, the ascendant, if you don't have your correct birth time or you don't know your correct birth time, then the ascendant is not going to be accurate for you. So don't pay any attention to it. And otherwise, the planets will mostly be correct. So now we're also seeing these like triangular or conical shaped areas. These are houses. So there's 12 of them. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 in a counterclockwise motion. And each of these houses are going to represent a different area of life. Okay. And again, if you don't know your birth time, these houses aren't going to be correct either. So that's why it really behooves you to figure out the information if you can. All right, so we've got the houses here. They all represent different areas of life. Then we have the signs that are showing in this particular wheel on the outside. So we're starting with Capricorn, but because this person, Molly Carter, has Capricorn rising, and then we go on to Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, and around the zodiacal wheel. Now, typically, if we don't know a birth time, it may start you at Aries or something like that, because Aries is the first sign when we look at the order of the zodiac. It starts with Aries in the spring. Okay. So other things that you can see here are aspects between the planets, which, as I said before, are the angular relationship between planets. If you don't know your birth time, most of these aspects are still going to be correct because the planets move pretty slowly, except for the moon. That one could be off. But you can see here the red ones. Some of these are squares, some are oppositions, some are conjunctions, and then the blue ones are usually going to be sextiles or trines. I'll do other videos related to the aspects, but for now, just know that they're shown here, but they're also in astro.com. They're shown here in an aspects table. This isn't something I use because I visualize the aspects myself. I can just see them at this point. And maybe that's something we'll learn to do later too. And I know we haven't talked about what the planets mean yet, but as a very basic astrological interpretation, it's kind of a mathematical formula almost, or a formula of putting these different pieces together. So we're saying this planet in this sign in this house means X. And it gets way deeper than that. We'll get there eventually, but that's a starting point. So we can see that this person has Venus in their second house in the sign of Aries, because it's down here in Aries. And we can also see it here at 5 Aries, 22 minutes and 35 seconds of arc. Okay, so this person having Venus in Aries in the second house, they may be a little bit impulsive when it comes to love. Their relationship with money and their love life may be connected together. So those are kind of some things you can start to say, because if you know that Venus is a planet of love or beauty and art, we can start to make that connection between the planet Venus and the sign of Aries, which is more impulsive, assertive, aggressive, brave, wanting to be first, wanting to be in the lead, wanting to do things right now. And there's a little bit of impatience that comes along with it, and not necessarily looking at the consequences that are there, but also being willing to act. So put that together, put it into the second house, which is the house of money, finances, a house of movable resources, the things that sustain us from a material standpoint. So you kind of start to get a story based on putting those things together. And that's like a very basic way to start looking at your chart, is by knowing what the planets mean, knowing what the houses are and what signs they're in, to start to build that picture. Now, that's not how we really read them at Homegirl Astrology. It's definitely more complex than that. But just to get you started, I hope this has been helpful for you. And I'll do just one more. We also have Chiron in Gemini in the fifth house. Now, lots of people have Chiron in Gemini. It's kind of a generational thing. This person may have issues with communication. They may have a sibling who has an illness or some type of physical wound, because Chiron is the wounded healer. So it's going to create difficulties in the certain space that it's in. And it's in the fifth house. So it's in the house of children. So there could be communication difficulties related to children or related to pleasure as well that are coming through. Thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful for you in getting started with looking at your chart. I've got lots of great content coming, so be sure to subscribe for future videos. Like and share with your friends who may be interested in this and other astrology content. Drop a comment if there's other content you'd like to see. And if you'd like to book a reading with me, visit homegirlastrology.com so we can break down your chart together and help you on your journey to finding ease. Be well, homies.